The amount of euphoria that we experience as human beings when we have laughter around us drastically changes our mood. You gotta have fun in life. I mean, why live if we're not going to have fun? It's the reason we make money to some degree, to have freedom, to buy the things that we want to buy, to have the experiences that we want to have experiences in. And the reality of the situation is when we get older, a lot of things get really serious really fast. Or at least they can seem like they need to be very serious very fast. And what I've realized is most of the time, all we need to do is plan out a couple things, have a generally optimistic view of life, and surround ourselves with people that actually enjoy having a good time while working. And we're going to turn into those types of people that have a lighthearted mentality in life and still keep pushing. Why is it useful to be that type of person? Well, life gets fucking hard. And the higher up in the chain that you go, the harder life's going to get. Basically, as a leader, you get funneled all the shittiest problems. And this is stolen directly from Alex Ramosi. You get funneled all the shittiest problems that the people that work under you can't handle. So that means that you're just constantly have a list of shit to solve. If you think that that's going to be an interesting, satisfying life, you're probably correct, because most people, again, do not have the ability to balance the emotional side with the work side, to actually enjoy and still make jokes and stuff and take things seriously when they need to be serious. There was a thing I was watching yesterday, actually. It was an Instagram live from my man Tracy, Brian Tracy, I think his name is. He's this old-time, absolutely phenomenal coach, life coach, and sales trainer. And if you're watching this channel, chances are that you've also watched Brian Tracy's stuff. But he was basically talking about how love in life is probably one of the greatest things you can ever have. Now, how do you expect to establish a love life if you take everything super seriously? How do you expect to establish a love life if you make assumptions all the time about the people around you? It's not a feasible way to actually build trust and have relationships that are psychologically safe. So I think I saw a TED Talk also a long time ago. Very, very important to have humor in life, guys. It's like why do any of this stuff if you can't sit and enjoy the stuff that you're building? If you're in a situation in life that's like that, and you are someone that values humor, and you've gotten one or two people to laugh at you, or hopefully with you in life, you know what I'm talking about. The amount of euphoria that we experience as human beings when we have laughter around us drastically changes our mood, drastically changes our viewpoint of the person that's coming across or doing our services, whatever it is, or of a stranger that you just came across. A lot of my patients at the dental office in particular love coming in because my staff is pretty happy-go-lucky, and I'm a bit of a character myself. And it actually helps a lot because it gets people to a point where they trust you. Going back to what Brian Tracy was saying in his amazing, I think 2 or 3 hour Instagram live that he did, he said one of the biggest things that salespeople need to understand is that the vast majority of the relationship that you're building is because you want them to trust you. When someone trusts you, they already are starting to think about what you guys can do together, how you can spend time together, how you can build together. So how does trust become established? In the beginning, it comes down to the little things, the graces that we have in life, the amount of nuances that we have, the perspectives that we have, but also the humor that we have and the personality that we have, right? If you're a tedious person, and this comes from my understanding that humans are either tedious or charming, if you have a tedious personality, there's a very good chance that humor isn't built in, right? Or humor that prescribes to a lot of different people. Or perhaps there's a circumstance where you take things too seriously, or you're taking too much of the attention. We can all be tedious at times, but I would say overall, net, you want to be more on the charming side, which comes down to taking life a little bit more lightheartedly. And that doesn't mean not taking life seriously. It doesn't mean not taking situations that pop up as a joke. You got to have that switch turn on and off. But I would say on the whole, try to stay cheerful. Try to stay curious. Try to stay fascinating to either at least yourself in some capacity by reading books or getting some weird factoids or doing some interesting stuff. It just makes it so much more manageable when things do hit the fan, and I guarantee you they will. Especially if you're aspiring to be a leader like myself. It's something that I've enjoyed a lot in my life is playing with syntax and diction, which is basically word choice and grammar, and using that really to create unique circumstances for people. My everyday staff, my film crew probably doesn't get this very often, but in the office, I try really hard to come up with like interesting questions or like interesting phrasing or interesting anything really. If you're putting in some sort of energy into your system, you're necessarily going to get more out of it. And it's always greater than the sum of its parts. So for instance, me being this way, I believe for an extended period of time has allowed my staff to feel psychologically safe to make the jokes that they find are fun, to have the opportunities that they think are interesting. It's just a matter of committing to who you are as a person and trying your very hardest to put that in, inject that in. When I get tired in particular, I do try to take a little bit of time to sit back and enjoy, but I do also try to take a little bit of time to be like, what can I do that will at least fool people into believing that I'm enjoying myself, There and you really do fake it till you make it. There was a lot of times that I was going into dental school, and bro, I didn't want to fucking go to dental school. Like I don't walk into that building and do shit. Like it's hard, right? And so I would like purposefully go out of my way, and I've lived in North Philadelphia, which is a pretty cool neighborhood, but it's not like the most wealthy neighborhood in the world. And I would go out of my way to smile at people and say good morning. The vast majority of other dental students are like, I'm tired, so I'm gonna have this tired ass expression on my face because who the fuck cares what I look like? It's like, dude, you matter. Actualize your potential, catalyst. You matter, right? You fucking matter. Like you being in a situation, having energy and telling jokes and having curiosity and asking questions, like that creates an environment in your life that is more conducive to things happening than being to yourself and being quiet and judging people, for like what they look like or like how they act or the knowledge that they have. Like fucking lighten up, man. Actualize your potential, catalyst. This world needs you.